thing proper was The Kids Who Pop Today Will Rock Tomorrow, which was our first EP. Oh, no, I'm a liar.
E-name?
I'm a liar. It's E-Name.
Yeah.
Don't ask me, man. How would I know? E-Name was our very first single, and it was, we met a couple of fellas, Deepak and Campbell, and they were starting a wee label and things, and they wanted to release our record, and it was fab, just a very local thing. But I do remember walking all around Ayr going, I'm signed! Signed, gonna be a superstar!
Yeah.
You won't believe what we're gonna be! And actually it was just like we were printing up like 100 copies of a CD, you know, and
that was it.
And
Yeah.
only distributing them in Glasgow.
I know,
you
we'd leave like 5 of them in a record store sale of return. We'd walk out going, yeah!
Sold 3!
Sold 3, you know.
But I mean,
great times.
it's just the excitement and the joy, and you got to remember this isn't a period where like the internet is not a massive thing at this point. You know, it exists, but it's certainly in a way of contacting folk or kind of or communicating your music. So little victories like that, like seeing your record in a shop that you visited, like that was massive. You know, really a massive deal. You know, just seeing it sharing shelves with bands that you respected and loved. And I mean, we didn't play a lot of shows really at that time, did we?
We didn't. We'd maybe done like one trip to London by that point, and we would try and go to like Dundee and Perth and just get out of Glasgow a little bit, but not loads, man.
No, again, ignorance is bliss. We didn't really know what we should.
You probably
be doing.
like I mean, booking those shows yourself at the start is very difficult.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's. We were talking about it the other day. The whole kind of pay to play system that they have in a lot of these venues.
hate
You have to
that.
buy a box of tickets and sell them to your mates.
Yeah. I think that's kind of been done away with now. Like,
Oh, has it?
Yeah, I mean, like, I got done with it
Right.
a couple of times, like, but
We get done with it, like having to buy the headline band's dinner and make
I
sure
know.
they had a pint of milk and just sort of little different things. And looking back at
pint
some
of
the
milk.
okay, just these unscrupulous
it's-
promoters
that you're.
that just would take the piss. They could see a young band that really wanted to be on the show, really wanted to make things happen.
They're like basically treating you like slaves, really.
yeah, a
aren't
little
they?
bit.
There's an element of that, an element of that. But even for anyone that doesn't know, pay to play would be something where you'd get given a bunch of tickets, and yet if you didn't sell them all, you would have to
Pay the difference.
make up the
Yeah.
difference. So, like, you know, for a young band, like 150 quid is
That's a
an
lot.
extortionate
Brutal.
amount of money. And yeah, we kind of learned the hard way. But again, in a way though, it really kind of solidified our kind of drive. I don't know if drive's the right word because that makes it sound like we kind of had some form of plan. But we knew every time we would play, we'd be like, these other bands are, you know, in a naive way, but these other bands are shit. We're great, you know, and like it kind of made us think, I can't wait to turn around to these promoters who don't actually realise that we're the only serious ones. We're the only real talent here. And, you know, and part of me was like, you know, I can't wait for a few years when we're the only ones still doing this, you know, because we just didn't have that. I don't know what the word is because it's kind of ambition without actually having any ambition. You know, like
It's a
like
sort of
pure
desire.
joy.
Blue
Joy,
sky
you know.
thinking.
Blue sky thinking. There you go. Although actually, I'm not even glass half empty. I'm glass half fucked kind of guy. So
don't even have
definitely, I don't have blue sky.
You
Thinking.
don't
I've
even-
got black hole thinking, man.
You don't even have a glass. It's been poured into your hand.
Just my hand's bleeding and it's slightly wet. You know. That's what my missus always says. Sorry, I just.
That's the end of that.
Yeah. So like the 2000 and was it 2000 the tea in the park that you got spotted at Beggars Banquet?
I think that sounds right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Playing tea in the park. Was that your first time playing it?
I think we did. I think we played 99 and 2000 or 2000, 2001. I can't
okay.
quite remember.
That's a big deal though in itself.
Oh, huge.
It was the biggest the biggest festival in Scotland, and it'd only really been like 4 or 5 years old at that point, perhaps. And yeah, it just felt like the biggest. It felt like we'd stepped onto the world stage to play, and even just to be at a festival. I remember we somehow when we arrived, we managed to find our way in through the back of the main stage. You know, we were meant to be in the unsigned tent or whatever, and we're driving in the back in this wee. Was it a Volkswagen at that point?
Something like that.
The
Aye,
Volkswagen camper, you know, and all these tour buses, and we're like, "Hello, we're Biffy Clyro," and they're like, "Who?"
What?
Faithless is in the main stage. Go, you know,
It was so.
We've only got one song.
it was actually that song we were doing, and it was amazing.
Oh, it was terrifying. I think I've got this recollection that we we couldn't be bothered taking all the cymbals and the drums off the drum stands, so we just threw them straight in the van. There was just cymbals and drums crashing about everywhere.
When bands go to big festivals for the first time, I've seen it happen so many times, and I've done it myself. You don't know the etiquette of what it's like to be backstage.
That's right.
Number one, if you're listening to this and you've never been backstage at a music festival and you've thought, "Wow, that must be amazing," it's normally pretty shit. Like apart from if you're in Europe, it's pretty nice.
It
but
can be nice.
But here, it's never as much as like you think it is in your head.
It's not everyone pushing the sky going,
Yeah,
way!
But young bands tend to like get up in the grill of like the famous bands.
We've all done it. We've all done it.
Yeah. So like when you've been backstage at those early sort of festivals, like who were you pestering and whose security removed you from whose tent?
Snoop D-O-double-G.
Snoop Dogg.
Snoop was on Tea in the Park. I don't know if we were in the main stage.
We were trying to play basketball with him or something like that, I think.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
us playing basketball.
Let's play basketball with Snoop Dogg and his entourage. What a great idea. But he was protected. And that was one of those. I remember Frankie. So I keep talking about my missus. Hi, baby. And she I was trying to get a picture of her taking with it, and it was literally like, right, there's a young woman coming in, quick picture, and like if you're a man asking for it, it was like, not today,
chance.
Boys, not today. But it was great.
But you see about the backstage etiquette, we were more likely to be the ones sitting going, "Oh shit, are we okay to be here? Are we in the right place?" and being a bit nervous and then I remember one time sitting in catering thinking, this is great, we're getting food. It took us about 40 minutes to realise that we were in like the crew catering. There's just all these guys with the high-vis jackets on and us sitting panicking that we shouldn't be there. It turns out we shouldn't have been there, you know. A bit of a funny experience. But
what bands are the ones that come up to you and like fry your life?
I remember one of the ones that meant a lot to me was Architects back in the day when we played Download. And I'd heard of Architects, but I remember Sam, the singer, just coming over saying they dug the band. And obviously, since I'm a massive Architects fan, I know James is as well. And just, I think they're a stunning band. I think what they do for British metal and everything all around the world is incredible. But that was when I realised that's maybe not just, you know, at a certain point, you think you maybe know everyone that likes your band. And that's when you kind of realise we're kind of making an effect out with what we would term our kind of circle of people that came to the shows and things. And for us to, perhaps, I don't know if we inspire them anymore, unlikely, but you know, for Sam to even acknowledge that, just a band that's so heavy and so extreme comparatively to you know, to what we do, meant a lot to me. So that's always stuck with me.
There's definitely a moment when you're a little bit younger and you're kind of trying to make your way without even realising there's a little bit of competition there between you and other bands, just in your own mind.
That's fairly normal.
That's fairly normal, and I think as we've gone over. Occasionally you still get a wee bit of the green-eyed monster when other bands do certain things, but now when we're on the road and we see other bands at festivals, it's like we're all doing it sort of together. We all know what it's like to live that life, and we know what a struggle it can be to be away from home and that sort of thing. So you're not like looking over your shoulder like, what are they doing? It's more like kind of putting an arm around each other and seeing how you're getting on, that sort of thing.
When's your tour over?
Yeah, when do you get to go home?
I remember meeting the Two Door Boys, just to hear your accent there again.
Yeah.
The Two Door Boys, we met them at a festival, and that was a nice little friendship just for a little while. You know, people you don't know that you just kind of slowly kind of acknowledge each other, and then you start
see
chatting.
them all the
I
time.
think you guys are great. Oh, you guys are great. Yeah, exactly. And it's just, you know,
That's because your band was quite big in Northern Ireland before, and Scotland before it was really big anywhere else.
Yeah, the
You
boys
actually had a following in Northern Ireland.
That was probably the first place that kind of blew us away, where we really felt that we were making friends in a serious way. You know, people understood what we were trying to do, and I think the energy levels, as you well know, of a Northern Irish show is absolute second to none.
You don't get too many good touring bands coming through Northern Ireland, so when it does happen, people go nuts.
Yeah, they go crazy. They go crazy, and it's a similar thing in Scotland. That's why we, you know, in a lot of bands even these days, people come and play 3 shows in the UK, and they wouldn't even go in further north than Manchester or further west than Manchester, and you're like, come on to fuck.
I know.
summon it up for all.
And actually, I'm talking about something, but Pearl Jam.
Yeah.
Oh,
I like
God,
you. I love you,
know.
Pearl Jam, but you fucking last played a show in Scotland in '99 or something. I was at it, and then you did one before that in '91 at the Cat House.
Yeah.
Does Scotland not deserve more than
I know.
2 shows in a
I know,
35-year career.
What have we done wrong?
What have we done? No, I know.
Maybe he just genuinely hates Scotland.
Maybe.
It could be, actually. It could be. I've heard that
Well, send-
Fat Mike from NoFX,
Oh yeah.
they'll never play Scotland anymore for some different reasons.
Yeah.
Why?
I'm sure they got into scrap with like the Glasgow crew.
Yeah.
Like there's the local crew in Glasgow are legends. They're all dynamite, but they're all hard as.
What do you mean
fuck.
crew? Like as in like backstage crew?
Yeah, backstage people that work at the Barrowlands or they
Right.
work at the SEC.
They're called the Mad Crew.
The Mad, yeah, the Mad crew. And they are, but they're dynamite, total golden boys. And but yeah, I think Fat Mike and NoFX maybe
made a comment from stage or something.
something like that was really, really disrespectful, and that is one thing you do not do in Scotland. You don't disrespect the fucking boys, and so I don't think he's ever been back. So, and actually, Fat Mike's a great guy, and he's been nothing but a sweetheart to us,
That's
Mike.
it.
But that's
Come
maybe,
on, man.
that's maybe why. Maybe he's like trying to atone for his
Yeah,
sins.
he's like he knows that we know.
Can you spread? He's wanting us to go back and spread the word.